There we go. It's the Live Drive Jive Archive with your host, Frank Monday. We are going past Nongjianqiao, so that's the Nongjianguan, or the Agricultural Center. It's one of my old favorites, one of my stomping grounds. I gotta be careful with this camera mount, man. This thing is not always perfect. That's okay. What are you gonna do, right? Just work with what you got. You know what really clears the air first thing in the morning? You know what it's time for? Morning grind. Stuck in traffic behind a city bus, running on hydrogen. It's time for a yo. Let's get a yo out there. Come on. That really clears the palate. All right. Keep your nose to the grindstone, everyone. Let me see the yos down in the comments. It is the 12th of October, 2021. And October just isn't like it used to be when you're a kid, you know, mid-20s, mid-30s. It just doesn't have that same allure. The only thing to get excited about these days in October is the old pumpkin pie cheesecake from the Cheesecake Factory. This fucking camera mount is driving me bananas, man. I gotta figure this motherfucker out. When it rattles and shakes around, it makes me unhappy because I know that's gonna be it's gonna be disconcerting to the folks out in Happy Land that are watching. You know, it's going to it'll make you dizzy. There you go. That looks like that's a little better. But now it's not perfectly level. And I know it's not you guys, it's me. I'm a perfectionist. I'm a little bit OCD when it comes to my film work. Oh, come on. Let's get a yo out there. Come on. That really purifies the spiritual centers, you know. Keep punching, everyone. So yesterday, we were talking about some esoteric affairs, and so I got back in there and I was thinking that the Hermetic Brotherhood of Luxor was the precursor. Wow, that heater is really hot. Cooler weather, you know, the old bones. I was thinking that the Hermetic Brotherhood of Luxor, I had remembered it as being the precursor to the Golden Dawn, because I remember there were a couple of Golden Dawn guys who wrote books about it or wrote books for it and published their material. So I got back in there and did a little research, not a lot. You know, Google doesn't offer you much these days. Bing's even worse, and DuckDuckGo is just like operating off the old mid-90s, 1990s Lycross model or whatever. So there's slim pickings for search engines, I guess, unless you guys know a good search engine that can get you good results. Put it down in the you know where it goes. You know where it goes. Come on, let's get them yos in there. Be like, yo, Frank, I know a good search engine that'll get you the results you're looking for. So I looked up, and there were 3 orders at that time. 1860s actually. So what is that, a little over 100 years ago? 130, 140, 150. 1880, 1885, 1888, and I think 1880, 1885, and 1888, something like that, is when those 3 orders started up. Now, there was McGregor Mathers, William Westcott, Arthur Edward White, H.P. Blavatsky, Crowley, so on and so forth. You guys know all the regular usual suspects. And so they all started in the same decade. Now, there is some connection between the Brotherhood. Well, no, there's no direct, clear lineage between the Brotherhood of Light, which was the American version of the Brotherhood of Luxor, and the Golden Dawn. But it was all the same basic idea. Now, Dark Journalist, he just released a new video. So get over there and check it out. It's like three and a half hours long, man. I've watched it twice. So that's 6 hours of listening to DJ do research. Now, he really likes Madame Blavatsky, but I was reading, there was a lot of criticism of her. Of course, you know, we know. But one guy in particular, the guy who was the founder of the Brotherhood of Luxor, he met with Eliphas Levi, and they had critical opinions of Blavatsky trying to integrate too much Buddhism into the Western mystery tradition, and they believed that the Buddhist sect that she was affiliated with was, how should I put this, a cult, and that they were of evil intent. Now, I honestly don't know a lot about Blavatsky, but the bulk of material, like, I've read it. I think she had 2 books. The Secret Teachings of All Ages is Manly P. Hall. Hers was The Great Secret Doctrine, and then I believe there were commentaries on it and so on and so forth. But that bulk of material did not come out of her mind. That's what I'm getting to. And most people who, I think that a lot of the folks that claim they came up with these voluminous treatises on spiritual affairs, I find that a little bit dubious. Voltaire, I mean, just the list goes on and on of people who wrote copious amounts. I'm a writer, and I get in there, and even during, you know, highly inspired and fueled writing, I don't see how you could come up with that much material in that amount of time unless you're just superhuman. I don't know. Blavatsky was a chain smoker, so maybe that had something to do with it. Voltaire was also, I think, a chain smoker, and something like 70 cups of coffee a day. So that might have something to do with it. But I have a hard time even digesting, maybe, you know, and I don't doubt that there are folks out there that are of equanimous genius that can produce that amount of material. But when it comes right down to it, in your day-to-day life, no matter how deeply involved you are with spiritual affairs, that amount of material is indigestible by the average wayfarer. It's indigestible within any given period of time. And my main question is it even worth studying when the subtle truth is so easy and apparent and right before the mind's eye? And those types of treatises that deal with otherworldly affairs and so on in great depth, that's turning your back on the subtle reality. Because if you spend your whole life pursuing all that stuff outside of yourself, then you literally have no time to do any real work. You can't get the great work done, because the great work is before all things creation of man by himself. That is to say, the complete and total mastery of his faculties and his future. It is especially the perfect emancipation of his will, his or her. The masculine-centered language in literature is not indicative of being applied only to men. That mindset is a little bit, it's completely outdated, and the truth is universal. Both men and women can benefit from the teaching. However, of the two sexes, men and women, and the occasional hermaphrodite, women already have a very strong intuitive link to the subtle truth, whereas men are in greater need of training. And that's why a lot of that, well, I'm not going to say that's why. There are many reasons as to the way things went down in the old days. But getting caught up with the failures of language is not good work either. So the great work, get her done. And you know what really helps you out on the path of the great work? Getting a yo in there. All right, that's the way to get her done. Really clears the palate. I love y'all good looking, sexy motherfuckers out in Happy Land. I hope you are doing well today. Keep these videos a little shorter so they're more manageable to upload to the tubes. Check out Dark Journalist's last video. It's worth watching. Again, I think he's a little misled on a couple of fronts. One is his Gigi Young front, right? And her being the oracle of Venus. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. And Blavatsky, yeah, she's not to my taste. There honestly wasn't a lot of worthwhile material, and to go in that direction is floundering. It mires you in a kind of nebulous, pedantic, flowery language about things that are brass tacks. I mean, it's right here, right now. It's between us. It's getting things done. It can't be conveyed into any language. It's indescribable, unknowable to the average individual, but the practices can be known. The Qigong, the invocations, the prayer, the middle pillar, the holy guardian angels, those things can be known to individual practitioners and are suitable for dissertation among the masses. Go back through some of my videos. Check out, basic Qigong 101 for getting her done, and then add some basic ritual with it, and you'll be well along the path of mastery. I finally got my things. Thanks you for your suggestions, Captain Bree. I did in fact just copy and paste and then sent it through the printer. Edited a little on Word or Pages or whatever in order to make it manageable on the page format. And I'm reviewing the Kybalion. Some obscure text like the Kybalion or the Tao Te Ching is far superior to wasting your time with someone like Blavatsky. Just saying. Anyway, that'll be it for today. Checking in to say hello. I hope y'all good-looking, sexy people are doing well out in Happy Land. And I love you guys. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the future.